Okay, let's dive into this. If you're learning a new language, you've probably figured out by now that textbooks and grammar drills, well, they're really only going to get you so far. If you truly want to connect with people, you absolutely need those street-level phrases. So today, we're breaking down a really fantastic, curated list of everyday Portuguese expressions to help you instantly sound more natural when you're speaking with Brazilians.
So, want to sound more natural when speaking with Brazilians? Just think of this explainer as your quick, punchy survival guide for everyday conversations. We are completely skipping the rigid, formal vocabulary today and getting straight to the good stuff, the actual lifeblood of the language. These are the phrases native speakers literally rely on every single day when they're joking around, setting boundaries, or just reacting to life throwing them a curveball.
First up, dealing with drama. Because let's face it, right? No matter where you are in the world, you're going to encounter some pretty big personalities in your day-to-day life. All right, our first term is puxa saco. Now, if you look up the literal translation, it means something, well, a little different. But in everyday, practical conversation, it translates to an ass kisser. Yep, you know exactly who I'm talking about too. It's that colleague who brings the boss a coffee every single morning, just a little too enthusiastically. So the real trick here is how you use it seamlessly in a sentence. Just picture yourself leaning over your desk, making absolutely sure the manager isn't listening, and whispering this to your work best friend. Ele é puxa-saco do chefe. He's such an ass-kisser with the boss. Delivering a line like this with that gossipy, insider flair, it instantly elevates your conversational level. It actually makes you sound like a true participant in the culture, rather than just some casual language student.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the social dynamic behind the verb se exibir. This translates beautifully to show off. And it perfectly captures that deliberate moment when someone is going totally out of their way to make sure everyone in the room notices exactly what they have.
Here is how you spot it in the wild. Ela adora se exibir com o carro novo. She loves to show off with her new car. I mean, we all have that one acquaintance who manages to casually drop their latest expensive purchase into literally every single conversation, right? Well, this phrase perfectly and succinctly sums up that mildly annoying, yet universally understood human behavior.
Let's move to and see how this builds into category 2, setting boundaries and pivots. Look, knowing how to assert yourself is an absolutely crucial part of sounding natural. Sometimes you just need to take control of the conversation.
So we're shifting from quiet whispers to direct confrontation right here. The phrase is cuida da sua vida. It translates super clearly to mind your business. And I love this one because it is wonderfully unapologetic. It's firm. It's exactly what you need in your vocabulary arsenal when someone crosses that line from mildly curious to downright nosy.
Imagine someone asking you a deeply personal question about your life choices or your finances, something they have absolutely no right to ask. You don't hesitate, you don't stumble over your words. You just look them directly in the eye, set a firm tone, and say, cuida de sua vida. Mind your own business. It's a fantastic phrase because it sets an immediate, uncrossable boundary and shuts the whole thing down completely.
Okay, deep breath. We are pivoting the energy now. Daqui en diante means from now on. And this expression is entirely about fresh starts. It's about making a firm decision and looking toward the future rather than dwelling on the past.
For example, daqui em diante, vou estudar todos os dias. From now on, I'll study every day. You hear that determined focus? It's a verbal pivot, firmly planting your feet into a brand new routine. It's incredibly empowering to use when you're clearly stating your goals.
All right, bringing us to our third and final category, surprises and reactions. Real-life conversations rarely follow a script, so you need to know how to react to the unexpected without just freezing up.
The first phrase here is fast and it punches hard. Do nada. Literally, it means of nothing, but we use it to mean out of nowhere. It's incredibly common in Brazilian speech and perfectly captures the feeling of a sudden, unpredictable event just disrupting the normal flow of things. You deliver it just like this. Ele apareceu do nada. He showed up out of nowhere. It's like 1 second the room is totally empty, and the next, boom, there he is. You use this when you are genuinely caught off guard. And throwing this into your storytelling, it keeps the pace energetic and effectively communicates that sudden surprise to your listener.
And this brilliantly illustrates our final and maybe most versatile phrase, como assim? Meaning, how come, or what do you mean? When someone drops a totally surprising piece of information on you, this is your immediate, automatic go-to reaction.
It's brilliant because it asks for clarification while simultaneously buying you a second to process your own disbelief. Picture this scenario. You're having an absolutely great time at a party, and your friend suddenly grabs their coat and heads for the door. You look at them with genuine shock and just go, "Você vai embora? Como assim?" You're leaving? How come? It perfectly encapsulates that jarring feeling of confusion and sudden change in just two short, highly effective words. Well, you are officially armed with some highly expressive phrases to take out into the real world. If you want to keep learning Portuguese with us, stick around. We love breaking down these authentic expressions in these explainers because, honestly, they are the true secret to becoming a confident conversationalist. So, I've got to ask, which one is your favorite? Are you going to be dropping a dramatic "como assim" at your next dinner party? Or telling someone "cuide da sua vida" when they get a little too nosy? Think about which phrase you can actively use today to elevate your Portuguese. Get out there and start talking.